Hello and welcome to the Deconte Thompson Show. Yeah! Guys, it's another week and it's another fantastic episode of the Deconte Thompson Show. And you know how we do right on the show? We strive, we succeed, we achieve right here on the show. Today, I have an interesting personality. He's so interesting because he's a writer, but he's a bit controversial, I should say, in my opinion. And we won't be talking to him. We'll be talking to him about his books and everything he's been impacting society with. My name is Deconte Thompson, your host, and I'm going to take you smoothly on this ride. The show is brought to you by Fruity Fresh, partnered with Filmlands Multimedia, and thank you again, Beauty Motions. You do know how to make me look good. My hair, my makeup is on point. Thank you, Eva's Clothing, for this beautiful dress. I love the African touch. We will be right back because I have somebody very interesting, somebody you will love to meet, somebody you want to know more about. See you just after this break.
My gosh, fresh, natural, no sugar, no preservatives, nothing added. I mean, fresh.
Welcome back. You're watching the Deconte Thompson Show. Yeah. If you're watching, don't watch alone. Call a friend, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this is going to be interesting. I mean, we feature people who are impacting society, people who are making it in their own sphere. They might not be celebrities or anything, but they are really making real impact. And right here on the show today, I have someone called George Kweku Inti, and he's so fantastic. He's written so many books. He's also an Amazon associate. He was a former banker until he found his purpose, which we're going to be talking about because it's important that you find your purpose. The first time I met him, we started to have a long conversation and he taught me about purpose. He said so many things. That is why I want to have him on the show, so that you can know more about what he said. Welcome to the show. And you know how we do it. This is how we do it. It's a 1 and 2 and 3. I love the old school look. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
You know, the first time I met you, it was Fruity Fresh is always the reason why I meet a lot of people. So the first time I met him, he was talking about my products. We got into what he does, and he started telling me about how he's a writer, and I was so amazed at some of the ideas he had and he shared with us. So thank you so much for that meeting. It left an impression on me, and thank you for coming on the show. I know I've postponed a lot of times, but you're here, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm also very honest.
Yeah.
And I'm very reserved person.
I can
so
see.
when I met you.
Yeah.
And I said that the whole thing started with your product.
Yeah, Fruity
Very,
Fresh
very
all the
powerful
way,
product
yeah.
because I enjoy garlic stuff. I like natural stuff. So I also enjoy the conversation that day.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very happy to be here.
Yeah.
And that is the beautiful.
Yeah, and I love your hat. It's working. You're working it in your outfit. Anyway, so now you were a former banking officer.
Yeah.
how did you get into writing? Because I read on you, I'll just read it shortly. Let me just read it shortly for you, the viewers. He's an Amazon associate, and it says here that his vision is to become a leading inspiration and great asset to the world, especially all Africans, to spike the youth and teenagers across Africa to rekindle the genius reading and writing skills hidden in us for generations. I love that so much. Now, you were a former banking officer. How did you get into writing?
Okay, thank you. First of all, when I was
Hello and welcome to the Deconte Thompson Show. Yeah! Guys, it's another week and it's another fantastic episode of the Deconte Thompson Show. And you know how we do it right on the show? We strive, we succeed, we achieve right here on the show. Today, I have an interesting personality. He's so interesting because he's a writer, but he's a bit controversial, I should say, in my opinion. And we won't be talking to him, we'll be talking to him about his books and everything he's been impacting society with. My name is Deconte Thompson, your host, and I'm going to take you smoothly on this ride. The show is brought to you by Fruity Fresh, partnered with Filmland Multimedia, and thank you again, Beauty Motions. You do know how to make me look good. My hair, my makeup is on point. Thank you, Eva's Clothing, for this beautiful dress. I love the African touch. We will be right back because I have somebody very interesting, somebody you love to meet, somebody you want to know more about. See you just after this break.
My God, fresh, natural, no sugar, no preservatives, nothing added. I mean, fresh.
Welcome back. You're watching the Deconte Thompson Show. Yeah. If you're watching, don't watch alone. Call a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this is going to be interesting. I mean, we feature people who are impacting society. People who Welcome are back. making You're watching in their the own Deconte sphere. They might not be Thompson celebrities Show. or anything, but Yeah. they're really making
If you're watching,
real
don't watch
impact.
alone. Call a
And right
friend,
here on the
tell a
show
friend,
today, I
tell a
have
friend,
someone
tell a friend,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is going to be interesting. I mean, we feature people who are impacting
He's also on
society.
Amazon.
Welcome back.
Actually,
You're watching
in their
his
own
own
sphere.
sphere.
They might not be celebrities or anything.
Yeah. If you're watching, don't watch
alone.
we're going to be talking about, because it's important that you find your purpose. The first time I met him, we started to have a long conversation.
And right here on the show today, I have
someone,
he
tell
said
a friend,
so
you know
many
what I
things.
mean?
That's why I
Yeah.
would have him on the show.
So that you can know more about what he said. Welcome to the show. And you know how we do it. This is how we do it. This is a 1 and 2 and 3. I love the old school look. Good to see you. Because this is going to be interesting.
You know, the
I
first
can
time I met
feature
you,
people
it
who
was
are impacting.
he's also on
society.
Amazon.
Welcome back.
Like,
You're watching
in their
his
own
own
sphere.
sphere.
The
The
first
first
time
time I
I met
met
celebrities
celebrities
or anything.
on
Yeah.
If you're watching, don't watch alone. And he started telling me about how he's a writer, and I was so amazed at some of the ideas he had and he shared with us. So thank you so much for that meeting. It left an impression on me, and thank you for coming on the show. I know I've postponed a lot of times, but you're here, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm also very honored.
Yeah.
And I'm a very reserved person.
I can
So
see.
when I met you,
Yeah.
and I tasted the whole thing started with your product.
Yeah, pretty
Very,
fresh
very
all the
powerful
way,
product,
yeah.
because I enjoy garlic stuff. I like natural stuff. So I also enjoy the conversation that day.
Yeah,
And I'm very, very happy to be here.
yeah.
And that is the beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I love your hat. It's working. You're working
Thank
it in your outfit. Anyway, so now you were a former banking officer.
Yeah.
How did you get into writing? Because I read on you, I'll just read it shortly. Let me just read it shortly for you, the viewers. He's an Amazon associate, and it says here that Um, his vision is to become a leading inspiration and great asset to the world, especially all Africans, to spark the youth and teenagers across Africa to rekindle the genius reading and writing skills hidden in us for generations. I love that so much. Now, you were a former banking officer. How did you get into writing?
Thank you. First of all, when I was in secondary school, I'm more into reading stuff. I love reading a lot.
Yeah.
My mother was a reader, my father too. So reading is part of me.
Yeah.
And then I told myself that I'll be an accountant. Then I started working in the bank, and things were good. But every single week, I come to Accra to buy books. So when I was at the bank, people called me. My colleagues said, "Why do you always care about books?" And these are things that's part of me, so I didn't know how to explain to them. And then later, I was able to influence almost 60% of the people to also start reading.
Wow.
So how I made the transition was, I'm a thinker, and I try to find out about secret things. One day, as a Christian, I asked God that this job, I want more challenges, and I want to think, I want to create impact, I want to do that, because the banking, though, is good for some people. But for me, no.
It wasn't just your thing.
Yes, and one point, I was one of the best staff, you know. I was able to help them create 2 agencies in a matter of 2 months.
Which bank was this?
Corura Bank.
Okay.
Our record there is very, very powerful because, for example, I try to use my understanding of business. I give the manager a very powerful tool that should extend the branches to new areas. That's where I come from.
Okay.
And then we also have to open another branch at Koforidua. All this was my vision.
All right.
The manager bought in. So I was a very, let me say, I was liked by the management a lot. So one day I was going to the house, and then I made a decision that what do I want? Then a voice told me that go and write books.
Wow.
So that night I had a dream, and a man like a shadow, like a fire shadow told me that, George, you are a writer. So I began to think, and then I went to a program, and then a pastor that I don't know said, George, God said you should write books. So at that time I got a confirmation that I need to start writing. And I started 2014, 2015, I never stopped.
And you've had over 11 books to your credit?
Right
Is that
now,
so?
I have, you know, when I was coming to Accra to stay, I made my mind to write 20 books in 5 years.
Okay.
So that I can sell them. So my target wasn't to write one book and sell. So now I have 19 books.
Wow.
So I have achieved my goal for that.
Have you heard the name George Inti before? Well, if you haven't heard it, you are hearing it right here on the show. You've written about how many books?
19 books.
19 books
in
to your
6
credit.
genres.
Okay, 6 different genres. Okay, all right.
Yeah. When it comes to writing, we have genres.
Yeah.
Like we have novel writing, that is stories. We can also do what they call it, historical fiction.
Yeah.
We have motivational writings. We
Yeah.
have religious writings, textbook writings, autobiographies. But the gift that I have, I am a 6-genre writer.
Wow.
So I have written books in 5 genres. And my favorite of them is what they call it, The Challenge and the Brave. It's my novel.
Okay, okay.
It's an Akan novel, so
It's an Akan novel.
yeah, it's like Ghanaian. I wanted to tell the world who Ghanaians are
Yeah.
and what are our values.
Yeah.
So I decided to write this book. It's a historical fiction, so I needed to read a lot and I tried to trace our history way back 6,000 years from Akkadian Empire.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's
What empire is that? I've never heard that before. What's it called again?
Akkadian.
Akkadian. Spell that for me.
A-R-K-A-D. Akkadian. A-R-K.
Okay.
Then D-A.
All right. Okay,
So
Akkadian.
Akkadians were very powerful African people.
In Ghana?
No.
Just in Africa?
They were in Mesopotamia.
Okay.
You know, civilization
Yeah,
began
started
in
from Mesopotamia, yes.
So the name Akan came from Akkadian.
Oh.
Historians are now telling us that,
okay.
you know, the Akan has some Adikra symbols.
Yeah.
These Adikra symbols are long years ago.
Oh,
we call
right.
it calligraphic writings and Babylonians time. it was there. So I decided to check the history of black people and then find out that, okay, these Acadians, they also were in Babylon, and then later when Babylon collapsed by Cyrus II, Cyrus I in 500 BC, most of the West Africans here
Descended from there.
yes, and then the accounts, let me say the group, the West African group, they also formed, what do you call it, this empire, what is it? Carthaginian Empire.
Okay.
So Carthaginian Empire was also a black civil Jewish nation, and that collapsed. They also formed after the Roman Empire collapsed. Carthage. You know, Carthage was powerful than Roman Empire at the time.
All right.
There was a war where Hannibal went to Rome.
Oh, this is
challenge them.
guys. I'm lost, but I'm trying to catch up.
I just want you
I'm
to,
trying
I
to
just
catch
want
up.
you to get the
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
So what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
the Akan people in Ghana are one of the ancient people
Very
people
ancient
have to
people.
know. And the language, that the Akan language is one of the oldest languages. Even some of the historians who are white historians are saying that it is the pure Hebrew language.
Wow.
But you know, we live in a world where a lot of distortions has went on.
Over
And then,
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
What they speak in Israel right now is Yiddish.
Yeah, it's
But
Yiddish,
they
yeah.
have mixed it with Hebrew language. So there are a lot of research that we are doing
Okay.
to find out. So after the Carthage collapse,
Yeah.
then the same group, it's not only Akans were there, part of the West African, the Igbos,
Yeah.
the other people, even most of the Ghanaian people. So what they did is that they formed this Ghana Empire. Ghana Empire wasn't a small empire.
This was featured.
It was around, Ghana Empire was around, let me say, 7th century
Okay.
AD. And this empire was so strong that they were able to launch 200,000 soldiers for conventional warfare.
Wow.
So the Ghana Empire also went down, and then it was absorbed into Songhai Empire of Mali.
All
so
right.
West Africans created a very thriving empire, but
Okay.
historians are not talking about it too much. So that's why some of us want to enter
So
into that.
through that novel, you're
Yes.
able to
Yes.
depict the picture
Yes.
of this empire.
Yes.
Can you give us a little
Okay.
synopsis of
my,
the
my,
novel?
my, my strategy was to use the novel to tell the other part of the world that we also created something that they shouldn't forget.
All right.
And then I tried to bring the timelines because it's not only me. We have historians like Herodotus, one of the most respected Greek historians. We have Flavius Josephus, he was another Jewish scholar. They all documented
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
And then once Songhai Empire also collapsed, then West Africa spread. That's why the Akans came here.
Okay.
So it's not only the Akans who were in that empire, but when we came, the Guans were already here.
The Guans were already existing before
yes,
the Akans
on
came.
the Gold Coast.
Okay.
So when the Akans came,
All right.
they entered, they didn't fight anybody. It's like a whole big empire of Songhai.
Yeah.
The Arabs, that is the northern Africans, those are Arabs, they collapsed the empire. And that's how the world is such that one rule and then
Another,
one
yeah.
So
Wow.
they stay in the dense forest
Okay.
in the eastern region, that is modern day,
Okay.
or this Asante region.
Yeah.
It was, they call it Adansi Empire.
All right,
So
okay.
they stayed there for 300 years.
For who stayed there for 300
I'm
years?
talking about the
The
Akan people.
The Akan people stayed there for 300 years.
Yes. And then
Oh.
later they decided to, the Achems moved to the south, and then we have the Dentra Empire also emerged, and
Wow.
out of that, until that is the
Okay.
whole history of
This
Ghana.
is a
but
passion.
cannot
You
talk
must have a
about-
passion for Ghana to be able to
Yes.
recall
Ghana
all this and Ghana history. This is more like a history class,
Yes.
but we appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
letting us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that this book, Amazon was doing a competition
Yeah.
that featured 20,000 people. My
Okay.
book was in. I haven't sent it to international review, but my book was number 92.
Wow.
So Arthur House in UK, a book empire in UK, called me that they are interested in my book. They want to globalize it for me. So through that, later they sent me. I was the only West African that they included in the New York book pitch. Every
Oh,
single year,
wow.
Hollywood select
Yeah.
books that
Yeah,
they
the
use it
New
for
York
the spring.
bestsellers.
So
Yeah.
I was fortunate to have that slot.
Oh
2019.
wow, 2018.
2019.
Yay! Go George.
Thank you.
All right, okay. So you had a slot, yeah?
Yes, I got a slot, and I'm a kind of guy who is a very patient man.
Yeah.
I know where I want to go, so I don't want to rush in the system.
Wow.
My grandmother taught me that you need to grow underground,
Yeah.
do your homework, and then I also love King Solomon a lot. King Solomon said, if you want to build a house, get your outdoor works,
Yeah.
get your field ready,
Yeah.
and build your house. So that is
Wow.
how I.
This is interesting. So do you think, I mean, you're fulfilling something in your life? Do you feel fulfilled?
Yes, I feel highly fulfilled because, for example, as a banking officer, things were going on well for me because I was one of the most favorites.
Yeah.
And then I decided to quit. My manager told me that, George, you know what? Go, if you want to go, if you want to come back in 2 months' time, we will take you.
Wow.
And they gave me a very powerful recommendation.
Yeah.
And I left. So when I came to Accra, I decided to write 20 books in 5 years. That was my strategy.
Yeah.
I want to write as many books and then begin to sell them. So I'm writing 19 books. 7 of them are on Amazon. Some of them are textbooks that we are working on, and
Okay.
then I have patent for that.
Do you
So
think you're
for me,
fulfilling a
that
purpose?
area, I have
You think you
fulfilled
fulfill a
it.
purpose?
Yes.
What do you think purpose is? What do you think purpose is?
Okay. Let me.
I
take
mean,
this
for someone
opportunity-
out there who's, because I'm sure a lot of people are doing their regular jobs
Yeah.
and thinking that this is my job I'm doing, but what is purpose? How do you know you're fulfilling your purpose?
Okay. The whole issue is that this is a very important topic.
Yeah.
Purpose of life pull the whole world together. We have civil wars, different kinds of battles and corruptions, all because people don't know their purpose. So this question you're asking me, long time ago, Albert Einstein was asked this question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
That what is the purpose of life?
Oh, wow.
What are we doing here on this planet?
Yeah.
Where do we come from?
Yeah.
Where will we go
Yeah.
after here?
Yeah.
So I want to quote what exactly Albert Einstein said.
Yeah, please
And
do.
then
We take it from there.
Albert Einstein said, "Strange is our situation here upon the earth. Each of us come for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to a divine purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know." And then he said that we are all here for the sake of others.
Wow.
And then he went on to say, for countless ages, unknown souls with those faiths, we are all connected by a bond of sympathy.
Wow.
Many times a day, I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of other men, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give them in return as much as I have received. That is what
Wow.
Albert Einstein said, but there is
Wow.
something that I want the world to know.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein was a very powerful scholar. He
Yeah.
helped us to regulate time.
Yeah.
Before him, we were having sunset and sundown.
Yeah.
So Albert Einstein was a Jew. He wasn't a Christian. He didn't believe in
Okay.
God. But this question, he was trying to say that we are here because he said we didn't know where we come from. So I want people to understand that as a Christian man and believer, we believe that Albert Einstein's question that he was asked, he didn't answer all, maybe 50%.
Yeah.
And then the true purpose of life, in my perspective, according to what King Solomon also said, is that after all the life that he lived and studying all that, he was worthy, he was everything. So King Solomon said, if pleasure, fame, wealth, power, beauty,
Everything.
is what you want,
Yeah.
and you think it is a satisfaction,
Yeah.
he said that thinkily it's not. And I've been thinking about this thing for a long time.
Yeah.
So the purpose of life is, to me, my perspective is that we all human beings are ambassadors of God, created to come and recognize Him. So our life here on earth is to lead others who do not know God to also begin to know God. Using all the skill He has given us. If you are a businessman and you have prospered, use your prosperity to glorify
impact,
God.
yeah.
If you are a scientist, use your wisdom to glorify God.
Yeah.
If you are a politician, lead well for people. So that is
I
that is
think
what I believe.
Albert Einstein kind of said the same thing about others.
Yes.
Yeah,
Albert
about
Einstein said that. But one thing Albert didn't tell
Yeah,
you is
was
that
the God factor.
who brought you here.
Yeah.
Abel said he didn't know. We Christians, we know.
Yeah.
God has told us in the Bible that He created us.
Yeah.
He gave us an assignment. So when our time is done, we will go to Him for a
Wow.
reward. So that is the difference between Christian believers and
Yeah.
people who are not believers.
Yeah.
So if you want to find your purpose in life, you need to pray to God to discover what assignment He gave you and what are you doing here. You don't just mess up going around, people are working so you work. Because God told me clearly that I should write books. And I can
But what
tell
if
you,
somebody else doesn't hear that voice? Like somebody else who doesn't have a dream, how will the person discover their purpose?
all right, then it means that, let me also touch on this. Human beings are intuition beings. We are spirit beings.
Just hold there, we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Guys, we're getting to deeper things. I told you right here on the show. I'm talking to George Kweku Inti. He's a writer, he's an Amazon associate, and he's doing well for himself. He has a lot of things there, and we need to tap into all of it. Now we're going to be talking about intuition just after the break, and we're still talking about purpose, finding your purpose as well. My name is Deconte Thompson. You're watching the Deconte Thompson Show, partnered with Filmlands Multimedia. Thank you, Beauty Motions, my makeup, Eva's Clothing, and Fruity Fresh Potential.
Oh my gosh, fresh, natural, no sugar, no preservatives, nothing added. I mean, fresh.
Welcome back. Yep, welcome back. Thanks to Fruity Fresh and thanks to Filmlands Multimedia. Welcome back. You're watching the Deconte Thompson Show. I'm talking to George Inti, and he's a writer. He's an Amazon associate. He's just telling us all about purpose. And now we're moving on to intuition. What is intuition? So welcome back.
Thank you.
Now let's go. I can't wait.
All right.
I can't wait. Yeah, intuition.
So what I was
So
talking
in finding
about,
your purpose,
okay.
you need to have what? Intuition.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So if anybody wants to discover who he really is, you need to also first discover your intuition. The truth they don't tell you in schools, in colleges, in churches, everywhere is that human being is created with, like human being is created, and then God has put in us something that will help us continue our journey on earth.
Okay.
That is what is called intuition. But a lot of people do not worry about that. Society is programmed in such a way that they teach us what they want.
Oh my gosh, fresh, natural, no sugar, no preservatives, nothing added. I mean, fresh.
God will lead you to a lot of people, and you are also fulfilling your dream.
Okay.
And so people have to understand that what exactly can you do better? It's not about what you learned in school. What exactly can you do better? Let me give you an example of we have our institution is graded. Not everybody's institution is higher. I am a very high intuition person.
In your opinion,
Yes.
or you are? How do
Yes,
you know
in
you
my
are?
opinion. Well, let me say my background made me a thinker.
Okay.
So I think a lot. I spend a lot in the night asking questions, reading a lot of books, mystery books. I want to know a lot. So the intuition drive will let you do things that you yourself are not prepared. So if you don't find yourself in those activities and you are driven by society, it means that you are following the crowd.
Because society nowadays is so busy. I have to go to work in the morning. I have to be there, and I'm moving up and down. What times do I get to even think and be led by that intuition?
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, intuition is an inborn thing. It's not something you get it from somebody.
Okay.
It is within you. It is inside you. It's your inner person that speaks to you. For example, most of the times my intuition will save me from danger, because they say, "Joe, don't do this," and I'll study it and I will not do it. So how to develop your intuition is that first you need to have more quiet time. You need to, as a Christian person, I can also, if you're a Christian, read Bible a lot and think. Don't spend all your activities going about. Because if you don't think, you will never be able to know what is wrong with you.
Okay.
You have to scan your activities daily, your activities monthly, your activities yearly. And you have to have a purpose, like this is a project you want to do for the world. God brought you here to come and support his mission. So intuitions people, people who are hyper-intuition people are people who believe that they are here to serve God in a very bigger way.
So do you think intuition is different from the Holy Spirit?
Okay, let me, in my perspective, yes, because Holy Spirit is outside influence, and intuition is like God has given you a blueprint inside you.
But the Holy Spirit is inside you.
It's in your gut. Intuition is in your gut. Sometimes, let me give you an example. When you enter into a dangerous area, then you see that your tummy, you feel like your intuition will give you a note that this is not a good place.
Okay.
So most of the times, let me give you an example. Albert Einstein said that intuition is the highest empirical form of knowledge. People who are intuitious are people who really, really know what they are. They can even feel for people. Okay. If I speak to somebody for 5 minutes, I'll be able to understand and decode exactly what the person is feeling. Yes. It's something that I can't explain.
Wow.
But that is how nature is.
So you need to develop your intuition.
Yes.
And after that, what next? When you develop your intuition?
When you develop your intuition, and then you find your talents. Human being we are talented beings. You cannot do the same, the way you are so sweet doing this interview. Not everybody can do that. So you need to know your talent. Talent is so important that humanity needs to go back to the olden days. But very, let me say this, society and school has done somehow, not too much damage, but somehow some damage, because you group people and you force them to learn things that is not their talent. So when you want to achieve your purpose, you have to discover your talents. When you don't discover your talent, it means that you have lost the battle. You're not going to achieve your purpose.
Talent is important.
Talent is important.
Talent is important.
And I want to stress on that if you haven't discovered your talents, you are on 0 degree. But if you discover your talents, and then you nurture it, you pursue it.
Let me say that again. If you haven't discovered your talent, you are on 0 degree.
Yeah, you haven't even started.
Oh my God.
Whatever you are doing is you are society driven.
Yeah.
And then that's how people get jobs. They are not happy. People can kill people. People can become distressed.
Yeah.
I cannot be distressed. I have a lot of things to think about. Program that I'm doing. So what I'm saying is that
your passion,
your talent discovery is very, very critical in your life. So when you discover your talent, you nurture it, you train yourself in that line. You have scored 30%, even though you haven't achieved your dream. So the 70% is you have to understand the system of your age. You live in 21st century where internet and media control things, and information control things. So you link your talent with the information
to the age you're in.
Yes, so that you make it a business. So that, for example, if you're a singer, Sarkodie started music. I have a friend who know him very well. He was somebody, every time he's listening to music, he's into music.
He's nurturing his talent.
Yes. So talent discovery is one thing. Talent nurturing is also another thing. So when you nurture it over time, there is a power in this world going around picking good people. You will be picked.
Hey, what power is this? That's what another power. What power is this?
All right.
What power is picking people?
God created the world. God has programmed everybody and what you will do. So when you reach certain stage, this will happen. It's like computer programming. When you reach certain stage, this will happen. But a lot of people who don't discover their talent, they lost everything because you are doing something that you are not born to do. Therefore, you will not do much. So when you discover your talent, you nurture it, and then you work on it.
And then you just start to excel. I think,
So the trouble people face is that people want quick money. And that is not how talent works. If you want to be successful,
those who want quick money, please listen to this.
This world is such that the world needs solutions. The world needs solutions. So if you want to provide some of the solutions to the world will pay you. So wealth is not too much a trouble if you have talent and your ability to nurture it in your ability to program and discipline yourself and make sure that your talent reach certain level where somebody can buy into your talent. When somebody find you, your talent becomes sellable, then it will turn into business, then it will turn into
So it's not about
else.
quick money,
No.
it's about working on yourself.
Yes.
Because that's inner. Like when you have that, it can't be taken away from you.
Yes, because
Yeah.
so your inner power, which is your intuition,
Yeah.
will tell you that, for example, if you are going to university,
Yeah.
you start from level 100.
Yeah.
You cannot jump to level 400
Yeah.
and finish. That's what people are doing. So
Okay.
I want to tell the youth that we need to calm ourselves. We need to go back to the old time. We need to read books, have special time to be alone and think.
Yeah.
Thinking is very difficult, so few people engage in it.
Wow. This man is a writer and he reads a lot. So the information is just coming from here, and everywhere else. I mean, it's wonderful so far. We're going to go into more of this, but George, what drives you?
All right, thank you.
What drives you?
First of all, I am I'm a spiritual. Like I believe in God. I believe in prayer. I believe in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's my everything.
Yeah.
So when I have discovered my talents, that I can write, I can change the world with my words and others, and then through that we can also get capital to enter into different areas. I find my books and my writing as very, very important to me, and I have a lot of books to write.
Yeah.
So every day I read a lot. So I spend my time either reading or listening to preaching from Pastor Diboye or Andrew Womack, Jimmy Swaggart. I have powerful people that I also listen to, and Otabel is also my favorite.
And so
Pierre
reading, listening,
Yes.
it drives you.
Yes. The reason why human being you need to learn is that there are people like Reverend Pierre Kofi,
Yeah.
who is a very motivational teacher. Otabel is there. You have to listen to them. Where you are going, maybe part of the area they have been there. So when you listen to information from here and there and you read different books, then you understand the dynamics of where you are going.
Yeah.
And then it will keep on. So for me, I'm always inspired. I love knowledge. I love reading. I love listening to intellectual stuff.
How many books have you written in all? Like 19 books, you said.
I have 19 books.
But you know,
complete.
Yeah.
And then you see, some of them are not, like I told you, I don't just do things anyhow.
Yeah.
I program my life, myself, my everything. So my mission was to write 20 books.
Okay.
By the end of December, that's what last 5 years that I programmed, and I've achieved that.
Wow.
Now, the next forward is to establish Untitled to be a very powerful organization.
Well done
And
with
then
that.
I want to create a book empire in the West African hemisphere.
Wow.
That is my biggest mission.
Wow. A book empire.
Yes.
Wow. I would like to form a book club. So we'll talk about that later, okay?
Right.
Anyway, so I was just wondering, you know, you make this, it sounds so easy, but it's not so easy, you know? Struggles, Charlie, you go through struggles. What are some of the struggles you have been through personally in your journey, finding yourself, finding your purpose?
Okay. First of all, as I said, I was born into a very noble and powerful family, and my grandfather was a very successful businessman of Chimbia. My mother's family too, a powerful family of politicians, though I've never met all of them. But my parents, I love my parents in a way when I was young.
You loved them?
Yes.
At what age?
My father died when I was 4.
Sorry
My
about
father
that.
was a very good man, and he's supposed to be the chief, and then there were a lot of policies. I don't know how, but my father died. And then my mother too, I lost my mother in a labor after me.
Oh.
So I was trained by my grandmother.
Oh.
And my grandmother taught me many things. To be independent, to be tough, to make sure that what I can say is that it taught me consistency.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing, you need to keep on doing them. A lot of people want to do shoddy works and then get results. No. Writing is a very tough area. You need to have energy, you need to have time, you need to have mental capability.
So those are some of the struggles you've been through.
And so the struggle that I've been through is when I came to Accra here, you know, I led the banking, and now I'm here. I rented a new apartment. I tried to, financially, let me say, God has given me some leverage because I used just 1 week to work in order to survive me for the next month. We were selling books. There's a ship that go across the world every 4 months.
Okay.
They contain books.
Okay.
So anytime they come, I'll go there and buy books and then sell it to schools.
Okay.
So the struggle has been, what do you call it, loneliness. You need to understand that all great men were lonely people.
Okay.
If you are not lonely,
we'll come to that.
You cannot write. So I spend a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
And then that one is also another 10.
Intentionally or unintentionally? Is it that the women are not coming?
Oh, no.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
I have no trouble with women.
Okay.
Hey. You need to discipline yourself.
All right.
For
to
the
try
sake
and be
of your
alone.
work.
Yeah.
Because if you are a writer and you have divided attention, you can never.
You can't.
I have a friend who, after banking, he said he wants to write a book. 6 years passed, he has only one book.
I tried writing scripts, but I'm always, when I come back, I'm on the same line.
Yes, so so the reason why I say that is also another is that you discipline yourself intentionally to stable yourself where you're supposed to go and swim, go and do stuff that you keep yourself for the sake of your dream. So that has been financially. I'm very smart. I understand how to make money, so I haven't passed through a lot in that line, but self-discipline and also family betrayal. Like they said, you have left banking. They don't understand you, so they try to.
Banking is a more prestigious job compared to a writer. Because Africa, how many people read? That's why we need to have that book empire.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're still talking to George. This is an interesting conversation we are having, and what are some of the books you've written?
Oh, I've written a book called What is Christianity?
Yeah.
It's my best book. It's 527 pages, a very big book.
Okay.
If I divide it, it will be about 4 books.
Okay.
And then I have, what do you call it, The Challenge and the Brave.
Yeah.
I have Prosperity, Practical Prosperity Manual. I have phonics books for class 1, class 2, class 3.
All right, okay.
And then they are all there. I also have Love book. God told me the secret of love.
The secret of love.
But I haven't published it because I decided to wait.
Okay.
God has told me
the secret of love.
Secrets
I want to
about
know that
love
secret.
and relationships.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
you know, he's brought himself because we are coming to this after the break. We're going to find out the secrets of his love life right here on the show. So we'll be right back. You're watching the Deconte Thompson show. We'll be back.
No sugar, no preservatives, nothing added. I mean, fresh.
Welcome back. Interesting conversation we're having with George Kweku Nti. He's a writer. He's written 19 books. He's an Amazon associate as well. And he was just telling us the secrets of love, that God told him the secret of love. You're watching the Deconte Thompson show, and this show is partnered with Filmland Multimedia, sponsored by Fruity Fresh, and thanks to Eva's Clothing, Beauty Motions for making me look so good. So we're still talking to George, and we're just about to round up. We want to know some personal things. Now we get personal things about George. Now, the secret of love.
Okay.
What's the secret of love?
Well, you know, this wasn't too much part of it, but I will give you a little gift.
Yeah.
You know, love itself, the way is the most polluted word we hear every day.
Okay.
People say, I love you, I do that.
Yeah.
But the real love, as I said, is that, for example, love is a union between two people coming together in a mutual agreement to complete a thing. So, in my perspective, love is like a company. We have staff, we have management, we have all kinds of people who ensure that they achieve a goal.
Okay.
So, marriage and love itself is a bond, because it's like when you are going to war, America is going to war, we have their allies, US is their allies. So, love is like you have an ally that you are going to the same place. And therefore, you love each other, you care for each other, you understand each other, you commit each other. Everything that you are doing is for one goal.
Okay.
But a lot of people they enter into love and relationship when they are not mature. They don't understand what they are doing. So, for example, if a company, the manager don't come to work regularly, the company will collapse.
Yeah.
So love is not static. Love you can grow love, you can shrink love. So whoever is looking for love should understand that love is not static. Love is something, it's a feeling for a cause, a worthy cause.
Yeah.
So if two people enter into relationship and they don't understand what they are doing, they have no program where they are taking this relationship to, it's not love. It just let me say.
How about somebody who is in a relationship with like 2 or more people?
Okay.
Is it love also?
Okay. The whole issue is that as a writer, what I would say is that human being has interests and positions. So if you want to love somebody, you have to know who the person is. You have to know yourself, your interests and positions. Let me give you an example. If the drink that you are
I'm sipping.
Now, if I say, oh, wow, I want this, and you say you also want it, it's yours, but maybe I want to see the writings on it.
Yeah.
And then you want to take the juice.
Yeah.
So I have to explain my interest to you.
Yeah.
So please, I'm not after the juice. I want to see the writings and read it.
Yeah.
It's okay, no problem, take it. That is how it is. So if somebody dates you and he doesn't find what he's looking for, he will leave you and go for someone else until he finds the person that is going to where he's going, he will leave you. Okay. So whoever is into relationship, it's not all relationship that will lead to marriage. Yeah. Reality is that, for example, if you're not trained from your home to understand how to manage yourself as a human being, because every human being, there are a lot of things you can do, but you need to set limits for yourself. But a lot of people in these days, they spend time on social media, wasting time, and then you meet somebody who is more programmed. Yeah. And then he said, okay, this is where we are going. And then he realized that you're not going there, he will leave you. Yeah. So people in relationships should know that it's not by force that somebody should marry you because he's dating you.
So are you married?
I'll not talk about that one.
Why did you talk about this one? Let's talk about this one. Are you married? Okay, are you in a relationship? Let me make it simple. Are you in a relationship?
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't want to go there is that
the girls are many, so you don't know
what's okay.
All right.
I'm not into girls.
Okay.
You see, let me tell you, I live my life not for myself alone. Okay. I live for my grandfather, my grandmother, my father. So I don't have to make mistakes. So I'm a programmed person. I schedule time to do all these things. So when it comes to relationship matter, I was in relationship all right, but 1 or 2 things I have to cut it off and then do other stuff. But as to whether I am into relationship or not, I will not.
You won't tell us. Okay, have you been in love before?
Of course, yes. Several times.
Several times. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, we'll go back to that. So we're just about to round up. But what is your definition of success? What do you think success is?
Okay. Success is achieving your own goal you set. Human beings are such that you need to progress steadily. You don't need to jump. Like what they call Charles Darwin said, you don't jump. Nature don't jump. So success is when you set your own goal and then you achieve them gradually. For example, let me explain. If every human being who wants to do something for the world, you have to have 5-year plan. Okay. You program the 5-year plan, and then you program them into months and into years. So every year you have 12 months. What do you call it? 12 months. You group them into quarter. Yeah. So every quarter is 3 months. Yeah. So you link every plan to your goal. This is what you want to do. So then every single quarter you also group them into months. You group them into weeks. You group them into days. So every single day's activity counts. If you don't do every day's activity in an effective and efficient way.
So goals are important.
You set a goal, achieving a goal. Yeah. What people should know is that you don't set a huge goal that you cannot achieve. You set a big long-term goal. You set a short-term goal, a medium-term goal. So every day you wake up, you know what you're supposed to do. For example, if I was not here, I was doing editing for a pastor. Okay. So if I go somewhere and I don't do that one, I have wasted that day and it will go against me. Okay. So achieving your goal is like you set a new target for yourself and then you hit them gradually it depends on how many years you set for yourself. If you are on the road to succeed, you have achieved your goal. So success is not all. Let me explain this, because a lot of people think that maybe financial success is important, but financial success is when you group all the most important. This is number fifth.
It's a number 5th.
Yes, number fifth.
It's about the success that it has to be money.
So success is measured.
Okay.
You can measure your success daily. Look, you don't just be there. Oh, hello, I'll go to phone. Like somebody will draw you into something that is not your plan.
Hello. I want to go to the funeral with you. Let's go to a wedding.
Cut a lot of unplanned
and then you're
activities
running.
in life, because if you look at my daily, I program everything, daily things. So if I don't supposed to be here, why should I be here? If I have nothing to do, I will rest and think. And do, because something, imagination. Imagine the life you want to live, everything you want. Just use your free time to imagine.
And it's powerful.
It's powerful. That is also going to help your life. But if you spend all your life on effective activities, you have missed the whole day. Tomorrow too, if you do the same, you have missed. So success is measured daily, weekly, monthly, and the whole year you didn't do anything.
So if you fail, that means that on a daily basis you could have seen that I'm failing.
Yes.
On a yearly basis, you can see I'm failing.
Yes. If I talk to somebody and he tell me what he's doing and he tell me where he's going and where he has been, I can predict that you, in 5 years' time, you will fail or you will be here. It's logic, because if you have spent all your money last 5 years, there's no chance that this year. So human beings,
there's no chance that this year you will not spend the money again.
So you have not changed. You
have not changed.
And what is the guarantee that you will succeed? When people go to church, oh, this year you will be good.
Amen.
If I lift my hands, I have programmed my things that, oh, this week I have to see this man, I have to do this, and I'm doing them. And when I'm praying, I say, Lord, help me to be able to do them. So human beings have differences. So success can be measured.
It can be measured.
And then you don't compare your success to somebody, because you set your goal. The same goal you set is not what the person has set. So you don't worry about them. And money making is the most least in this world, I'm telling you.
You're telling me it's the 5th?
Yes.
So first, what's the number 1?
Number 1, you have to discover your purpose.
Discover your purpose.
What you live for. What exactly do you want to do for this world? You have to know. If you don't know that one, you will not be great. And then number 2. So first of all, discover your purpose. Our time is going. So guys, this is interesting. No, that one,
I need to have George on the show again.
No, you can. So when you brush it, I will brush it in that.
So number 1, your purpose. Discover your purpose.
Yes. Number 2, your talents.
Your talent.
Yes.
Number 3.
Number 3, you need to be disciplined.
Disciplined.
And somebody who really determined. Number 4, you need to have connections. You need to be trusted. Somebody can trust you, because people are big men. When somebody trusts you, then you say, oh, I know George. Okay, you know what, give him this position.
You need to be faithful and trusted.
So, yes, you need to build that. You build it.
You build it over time.
Yes, when I came to Accra, my major goal is not money. It's not just get the quick money. Program yourself well. Oh, hello. Oh, like I told you that I went to McDonald's office. And so, George, you know what, I want to give you this position. You build it. It's not like it came. No. In my life, there's no magic. You build everything and pray over it. So then the last one is the money will come.
The money will come.
And so people who put money first, you will lose everything.
Oh my God, people who put money first.
The world is not about money.
Some of us like money.
Nobody like money. I came to Accra driving Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
I sold the Benz to come and rent office.
Wow.
For my purpose.
You took away that plush looking side of you.
I'm telling you. I bought it 2011, I bought Mercedes-Benz. But 2019 I sold. So the question is, you need to have a purpose, like what you want to do. And so when you're just pleasing people, that one. So you need to, money is the least. Look, I can tell you this, you can make money anytime. It's not a problem. But you need to have a purpose. Because God will not give you money for something. 7.5 billion people are praying to Him. So God will give you money when you also want to do a purpose that will help Like what you are doing is a good show. You need sponsors.
Wow.
And
Yes, so I need sponsors.
So that's not proper at all.
Yeah. Guys, I'm talking to George Kweku Nti. This is a very interesting discussion. We've talked about purpose, we've talked about intuition, we've talked about some of his books, we've talked about things you need to do to be successful and how you can measure your success. If you're going to fail, you're going to know that you're failing because on your daily basis, you're not meeting your goals. Or some of us, we haven't even written goals or vision. If you haven't done that, start to do it. Thank you, George, for being on the show. I'm sure we're going to have him here again, right, producer? I'm sure we're going to have you here again. I would like to know more about the books in details, like some of your books in details, and maybe other books. Who's your favorite author before I go?
Oh, my favorite author is there are plenty.
There are many.
Okay, let me mention
oh, okay.
one.
So you know what?
He Wattles. It's American Revolutionary writer, and then Napoleon Hill.
All right.
And then I also like.
So we're going to have an episode just dedicated to books because people are not reading anymore, and there's so much power in books and knowledge and having that, because through these things you get your intuition, you get your ideas, you get your visions, you might even fulfill your purpose. You've been watching the Deconte Thompson show. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm sure I'm going to have George here on the show again. Watch out for him right here on the show as we talk about books, just books. Thank you for watching. Next week we have something fantastic coming up for you. Don't miss it and keep watching the Deconte Thompson show. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because over there we're going to have some uncut sessions. Yes. So follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the Deconte Thompson show. Thank you for watching. Here we strive, we achieve, and we succeed. Thank you.